Hey everyone, welcome to the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. I'm Alexa Dad. We have a very special guest joining us in just a few short minutes, Royals pitcher Brad Keller. But before we do that, we're going to welcome you, the fan, into the show to ask Brad your questions. There are a couple of ways to do that. You can hit me up on Twitter using hashtag Chatting Cage, or you can click the button below to sign in or sign up to get some live FaceTime to ask your question face-to-face to Brad here on the show. That's pretty exciting. So either way that you want to do it is a great way to get questions into our special guests. Let's go ahead and welcome Brad into the show right now. Hey, Brad, thanks so much for joining us here in the Edward Jones Chatting Cage. How's it going today?
It's doing well. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Let's go ahead and jump right into it because we have a trove of fans who have sent in some pretty awesome questions for you. The first one, this is going to be about your teammate, Jorge Lopez. I know he was so close to that perfect game. So Stephen Clay was tweeting in, what was the mood like? What was it like to watch him there?
Oh, it was unbelievable. I mean, that ninth inning, my stomach was turning. I couldn't imagine how he felt out there. It was just so unbelievable to watch. I've never even come close to seeing a no-hitter, and let alone a perfect game. And you know, I was pulling for him so hard. I mean, 3 outs away is just incredible. So it was awesome. Yeah,
I know you celebrated him on Twitter afterwards, which was really nice to see, and it was cool to see your entire team rally behind him. So amazing outing for Jorge Lopez there. Hey, Logan Gardner, 82, wants to know, what was it like for you when you got your first start when you're there on the mound?
You know, you always get nervous. You know, even if it's in rookie ball or the big leagues, you know, you always get that gut feeling, and I kind of had it all day from as soon as I woke up. But you know, once you go out there and you throw those first warm-up pitches, it kind of goes away, and you just got to go back to competing. But it's a special experience, and I enjoyed it a lot.
Is there anyone you turn to ask for advice in those types of situations? Because I know that there are so many other guys who have come before you who have been in that situation that you can maybe lean on.
Yeah, I mean, we have a bunch of guys on our team. Ian Kennedy. He's got 10 years, a ton of starts under his belt. So when they put me in the rotation, I kind of picked his brain. What he did, what is his pregame routine and stuff like that. So he was a huge help to me.
That's the way to do it. You're learning fast. Nice to see. We got a fan here on the Edward Jones Chatting Cage for you, Brad. Hey, what's your name? What's your question?
What's up? I'm West. I'm from Columbia, Missouri. Brad, my question for you is, favorite barbecue in Kansas City?
Jack Stack Barbecue. It's my favorite. They come here to the ballpark. It's just unbelievable. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with any barbecue in Kansas City, though. It's all great, so.
Yeah, you had a quick answer for that, so you knew exactly what you liked. I love that. Can you describe the barbecue? What do you get? What's your order when you go to the barbecue joint?
I'm a big brisket guy. I like brisket, so they cover it in there with special sauce, and it's hard to describe. It's just really good. You got to have it.
You're from Georgia originally. I know that they don't have as much barbecue down there. A little here and there, but not as much, obviously, in Kansas City. What's the transition been like for you from where you're from in Georgia to Kansas City?
Kansas City, it's a big city, but it still has that small-town feel. And I'm from a small town back home in Georgia, so it's pretty easy to come in here and get accustomed with everything. So, I mean, I love Kansas City. The fans here are great. They're super loyal to us, and it's just the best setup here.
So we have another question here specifically about you being from Georgia, because Coach Lorenta wants to know, because you're a big college football fan, you root for both Georgia and Michigan. And I was looking at your Twitter feed, and I was like, how come he's congratulating both the Bulldogs and then also Michigan? How does that work?
So when I was a little kid, my aunt and uncle lived just outside of Ann Arbor. And when I was a little kid, probably, 5 years old, we went up there and visited, and we got to run down on the big house. It was snowing, so we got to do, snow angels at the 50-yard line. And then we went to a Michigan basketball game and a Michigan hockey game. And, as a kid, that stuff sticks with you. And so that was my first, college experience, and I loved it. And so I fell in love with Michigan. I always get asked that question. I get a bunch of crap for it, too. How do you like both? Who are you going to cheer for when they both play each other? But, it's just hometown team, and then, that a team like that sticks to you when you're 5 years old. So it's tough. It's tough because, everyone's like, oh, they're both so good, and they're both, Power 5 teams, whatever. But, yeah, I mean, if they played each other, I just couldn't watch the game. It would just be tough. Couldn't cheer for either one of them.
Kara Williams has another tough question for you. Who's going to have the better season?
I mean, Georgia looks unbelievable right now. Those first 2 games, especially against South Carolina, they came out, swinging early, put up 14 in the first, 3 minutes of the game. I mean, they look really good. But I think Michigan's going to turn it around too. You know, they looked really good this last week, and they got a tough schedule. So
you can tell that you're a passionate fan. It's pretty cool to see. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
You're parked there on the couch. What's your setup when you're watching college football? Do you have like a man cave you hang out in?
No, not really. Usually I'm down in Athens. One of my best friends plays on the team, and he always gets me tickets for the home games down there. So I'm usually down there watching the game. But really, like, it all starts in the morning with College Game Day. I mean, wake up early, head down to the couch, and watch College Game Day. It's so much fun. I mean, there's a lot of passionate college football fans out there, so it's fun to watch.
All right, we absolutely love that. So you shared some of your early memories being in love with college football for us. Can you share an embarrassing moment for us, potentially, in your baseball career or just in general in your life? Because Kyle Norton wants to know. He's tweeting in that question.
I don't know. I do a lot of embarrassing stuff.
So do I.
I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, especially in the dugout. I mean, I get a lot of guys. The bullpen guys will come down and be like, dude, like, you gotta do something with your face. You look so out of it in the dugout. Like, a lot of times I just zone out, and they catch me all the time. I get pictures from a lot of friends. They're like, bro, like, what are you thinking about right here? And it's just me, like, staring off in the distance. That's probably, like, super embarrassing where I don't know. It's not a good look sometimes.
So I have an ugly cry face. You have an ugly stare face. That's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, we got a fan here who wants to ask you a question. Hey, what's your name and question for Brad?
What's going on? I'm Anthony, and I was wondering who you thought your funniest teammate is in Kansas City.
Oh, man. Brett Phillips, you know. I'm sure you guys know about his laugh. It's hilarious. You know, he just, as soon as he walks in the clubhouse, he just knows how to light everyone up, and he's hilarious. You know, you get him to lock up in that laughing, and he's hysterical. A lot of energy in him, and you know, I mean, you guys saw in the post game after Witt hit that walk off, grabs the mic and just takes over. He's awesome.
Brad,
hilarious
we know his
guy.
laugh really well. We're very familiar with it. We constantly Google it here, YouTube it, and check it out. We haven't heard it in a while, though. Is there any way you can do an imitation of it for us?
Oh man, I couldn't even try. He's like, it's weird because like his eye like locks open, and it's like, I don't know. It's tough to even like try to imitate that.
Do you want to try? Give us a try.
That's about it. That's about all I got. That was a tough one.
That's really good, though.
He always tells us don't look into the eye when he locks up because it's a curse apparently.
I love that. Hey, speaking of curses, the opposite. Good luck. Any good luck out of the number 56 and the reason you wear it? Because Harold414 wants to know on Twitter.
Actually, you know, they just kind of gave that to me in spring training. It's kind of weird. That was my brother's football number when he was a little kid, so kind of history behind it. But, you know, Greg Holland wore it while he was here, and he had a great success while he was here, so I'm trying to just carry that on with me.
I love that, yeah, and hopefully it will provide a lot of positive memories for you going forward. We got Shara Shepard who tweeted a question in for you, Brad, and we know we talked about you watching some college football. What's another one of your favorite things to do on an off day?
I'm a big golfer. I'm not very good. Still a work in progress, but I love getting out and playing with the guys. You know, it's always fun to get out on the course and, you know, swing it around a little bit. I wish I was better. Short game could use a lot of work, but, hey, that's part of it.
Do you watch any golf? Do you have a favorite golfer that you like to watch?
I'm a Spieth fan. I just like how young he is and how he, you know, came on the scene so strong and he plays really well and so consistent. So, I mean, obviously Tiger growing up it's tough to root against him, especially the comeback he's making right now. But, I mean, I just like the competitiveness in golf. You know, 4 straight days of, you know, going out there and understanding how hard it is and seeing these guys make it look so easy.
It is. It's really interesting because when you watch it on TV, you think like, oh, I could go out there and do it, and then you go out there and do it, and it's nothing close to what the pros pull out. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. TJ Gardner said, if you weren't playing baseball, what would you be doing? Would you be a golfer?
I would be definitely doing something in sports. I don't see myself doing anything other than sports. My whole life revolved around sports. But when I was a little kid, I wanted to be like an athletic trainer to a physical therapist type. But yeah, that's what I'd probably be doing if I wasn't. Okay.
Anything specific in a specific area? I mean, you mentioned sports, but is there maybe like a team that you'd like to work for, or a specific sport you'd like to work in?
Yeah, not really. Just really, I guess baseball and football are my 2 main sports, so one of those 2.
All right, cool. Maybe you can be Aaron Rodgers' trainer and help him out. Yeah,
Yeah,
The miracle worker brings him back to life. All right, Brad, it's time for our EDJ question of the day. How special was it for you to make your Major League debut on opening day?
Oh, it was incredible. I've never even been to an opening day before, and to actually my first opening day be on the field and let alone make my debut during it with my family in the stands was just incredible. One of the best feelings ever.
Yeah, absolutely. We hear that all the time from ball players, so it's nice to hear you echo that sentiment. We've got another fan here in the Edward Jones chatting cage. Hey, what's your name and what's your question for Brad?
Hey, it is Andrew. And Brad, I just wanted to know, what's the best baseball advice that you've ever received?
Best baseball advice I've ever received is, just be consistent. It's a game of failure, so, don't let that get too big. Don't let that get in your head too much, and just try to stay positive. No matter what's going on around you, just, look at the big picture and keep moving forward.
And I'm sure it's easy to do that with a lot of veterans around you to offer you some support. E. Holt wants to know, how rewarding is it to work with a guy like Salvador Perez?
Oh, Salvy's awesome. From day one of spring training, he came up to me, introduced himself, and he's been just awesome all the way around. Great clubhouse guy, even better behind the plate. Obviously he's a Gold Glove winner, so he's really good receiving and throwing guys out. So, as a pitcher, that gives you a ton of confidence. You're throwing to one of the best.
Absolutely. Hey, Brad, thanks so much for your time and for joining us here in the Edward Jones chatting cage. Good luck this season, and we'll be rooting for both Georgia and Michigan for you.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Take care. And thank you to all the fans for tweeting in questions and for hopping on live and joining us to ask Brad Keller your questions. Really appreciate it. We've got Edward Jones chatting cages coming up all season long, so you have a chance to ask your question then. But until then, I'm Alexa Dat. See you next time.